Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are currently in the Zone of the Air in Ultima Thul, and want to do some quests here, namely the ones we need for the Aether Currents. And yeah, I thought record some of them. Could be interesting in this area. A most stimulating discussion.
Pardon me, traveler. I lack the sense of time as perceived by those of finite lifespan, but might you be able to spare a moment to speak with some of my fellow heir? It is rare to find one so unmarked by the scars of deepest wisdom. Your appearance and perception as an outsider differs so much from our own, but I wonder if a degree of interaction might prove stimulating for both parties. Much obliged. I shall mark my location on your map. Max to spend a considerable time frequenting their usual haunts.
And the thinking heir.
How fortunate that you are here, corporeal being, for we are in need of your assistance.
What's up?
I'm sure you saw some of my kind drifting about the untamed wilds just over there. As I understand, they are binding their spirits together as one, in hopes of diluting their consciousnesses and thereby erasing their sorrows. Unfortunately, the resulting amalgam doubtless longs for more minds to incorporate, and if other heir approach it, we may be drawn into the growing mass against our will. Your corporeal form seems to outweigh your mental capacity, so you should be safe, however. Please destroy their collective consciousness before it kills us all. Your ready acceptance gladdens me. I believe if you lay waste to two wandering souls, the amalgam will appear. Do be aware that while your mind is safe, it may present other dangers should it realize what you are attempting. Huh? Oh, you must be that traveler from beyond that has been causing quite a stir around the abode. What a stroke of luck. In fact, I have been hoping I might have the opportunity to exchange thoughts with you and your companions. For you see, I have too long whiled away my days in listless banality, drifting waywardly as my mental faculties dulled and slowed. I so longed to strike up a stimulating conversation with a traveler, yet for so long none would pay me a visit. That said, I never imagined you to have such strange physical form. Pray tell, how do you keep your balance? What keeps your innards from spilling out through one of the multiple orifices in your body? But pardon me, truly I meant no offense. Clearly, life in your world found this shape to be suitable, perhaps even necessary for your survival. Perhaps our own original form was equally horrifying.
Horrifying, huh? Very nice. No Aether Currents left otherwise, except for the quests. Come on, die already. Okay, let's go on. Laid back ear.
How curious, an unfamiliar corporeal life form calls out to me as I wait in vain for the inevitable coming of the end. This is indeed the chance of a lifetime, mayhap of several lifetimes, and so I pose to you this question. Tell me, traveler, what's the true nature of life in the universe?
An eternal adventure! 42.
Why, precisely! That is the very conclusion I arrived at myself. How heartening and surprising, I dare say, to meet one as enlightened as myself. Huh? What a curious being you are. Have my peers discovered how to regain their corporeal forms while you remained lost in thought? No, of course not. Come to think of it, I wonder if you ever possessed a peculiar form that you down do. Oh dear, I fear this always happens when I delve too deep into such ruminations. very moment I attempt to regain clarity, it triggers a most unpleasant reaction. If my fellow AI have not found a way for us to reacquire our corporeality, perhaps it forced me to meditate further upon the matter. In any event, pray leave me to my cogitations.
Hunt is currently going on, but when I can't fly, I won't join.
I see you make quick work of your amalgam. Of course, it is well within each heir's right to choose when they wish to end their own existence, but to force others to join them, however accidentally, is another matter. This whole ordeal has led me to contemplate how I should meet my own demise. But forgive me, I forget such matters are not left to choice for your kind. Truthfully, I envy you, to go forth each day full of vigor, but knowing when your lives will be unexpectedly snuffed out, it must feel incredible. My apologies if I make you uncomfortable. I'm unused to speaking with mortals. Be assured that I appreciate your help and you have given me much to think about regarding death. Or perhaps life.
Still have some of us, so let's take more lime just because I have it. So I can stack it. Nunuk.
Did you encounter my acquaintances? I can only hope that they derive the same sense of stimulation from conversing with you as I myself did. For if so, we may yet discover a means to attain the moratorium known as death. Until that time, should you ever be in the mood for a discussion on the profound and inevitable meaninglessness of the universe, we will be here waiting. Yes, always waiting.
Okay, and add 2 more here in the zone of the Omicrons. Learn to love.
Assistance requested. This unit has observed a curious phenomenon in which certain members of enemy faction have exhibited a marked increase in their combat capabilities. Analysis suggests that said members share unique interspecific bonds with others in their faction. These individuals were conferred titles such as consort and family. This unit detected no difference in physiology that would provide notable advantages in combat, if the presence of interspecific bond alone led to an increase in performance. Records indicate that one member of a bond group exhibits this exponential improvement when others are eliminated. Potential benefits of such augmentation are projected to be immense. Thus this unit's query, are you familiar with the aforementioned phenomenon?
I am.
This is fortunate as this unit has constructed a consort for research purposes. You are asked to delineate the method by which this unit might form an intraspecific bond with said consort. Requesting a standby at present coordinates. Initiating consort retrieval. Activating introduction. This unit presents the aforementioned consort. At present, its capabilities are comparable to subordinate patrol units. How should we proceed?
This is awkward because I'm not certain Omicrons have this type of romantic or emotional attachment that other species do. So you could give it a pet name.
Scanning identification database. Records indicate this Omicron is designated Test Unit 0043. This unit requests confirmation that said appellation qualifies as sufficiently pet. Hesitance detected. New proposal, my beloved. A review of this unit's memory shows a memory of an enemy faction referring to its bondmate as such. Appellation change confirmed. New designation, My Beloved. Reconfiguring emotional state as grateful. This unit appreciates your assistance in facilitating the creation of a special bond with My Beloved. Initiating phase 2 of experiment.
And what was that about?
This unit will evaluate whether the destruction of My Beloved bears a positive impact on this unit's combat capabilities. Transmitting self-destruct command to My Beloved.
Boom.
Analyzing unit status. No change in functionality detected. Possibility of transmission failure estimated at 78%. This unit asks that you confirm that My Beloved has successfully executed the self-destruct command. Retrieval of remains are requested.
Yeah. Collect the remains of My Beloved.
Requesting retrieval of My Beloved. Potential for reconstruction and further experimentation remains high. Self-destruct confirmed successful. Sadly, experiment confirmed unsuccessful. Analysis of this unit's parameters show no change in functionality. This unit will consider executing a family simulation after reconsulting enemy faction data, but based on the results of a consort simulation, termination of research may be advisable. Reconfiguring emotional state from disappointed to grateful. This unit thanks you once more for your cooperation. Your proposed methodology may be implemented in future experiments.
And that leaves N4486. Combat Evolved.
Initiating communication. This unit requests your participation in an Omicron combat simulation. 98.8% of the past 12,359 sessions have produced the exact same result. Thus, an unknown quantity such as yourself is required. An Omicron aggressor is positioned outside the base. This unit has instructed said opponent to record all combat session data. You may initiate your assault when your preparations are complete.
Are you looking for more of a pummeling or a pulverizing?
Uncertainty detected. Reviewing previous transmission. Verbal analysis suggests this unit has omitted crucial information regarding the current mission. This unit begs your pardon. Once you nearly destroyed the aggressor, you are requested to activate this device, which will automatically transfer combat data to a convenient portable format. Initiating handover protocol. Sending coordinates. Per the transmission you have just received, the opponent is located on a planar frame extending from this base. Reconfiguring emotional state to grateful. This unit thanks you for your cooperation.
Level checker mini. Delta, leave me in peace.
Reviewing received transmission, analysis suggests the aggressor is no longer operational. Requesting return of previously provided recording device.
A device containing data from your fight against the Omicron aggressor. For some reason, the screen meets level 90 and its beakers are emitting a jaunty tune.
Extraction of combat data complete. Analyzing. Quality of data greatly exceeds expected values in all previous records. Reconfiguring emotional state to impressed. The data suggests you summon significant levels of ether in order to defeat the aggressor. This unit will submit a request to the logistics matrix for the augmentation of protective apparatus. Searching database for situationally appropriate axiom. Only through combat can we improve ourselves. The absence of new challenge results in stagnation. Records indicate this base has not encountered new threats in a considerable amount of time. This unit sees potential value in enduring attacks more frequently, though its Discord prevention module is buzzing in a most irritating fashion. Reconfiguring emotional state to grateful. This unit appreciates your cooperation with a collection of combat data. Analysis suggests it would provide invaluable to further developing the base Omicron.
And with that, we can fly in Ultima Thul. How do we continue? Not really much time spent so far. Work votes.
This unit has received orders from Sigma 1 to patrol base Omicron. Review of these orders indicate they supersede any other incoming directives. No exit condition has been specified. However, a scan of areas surrounding current coordinates shows no enemy factions are present. This unit thus questions the value of endlessly looping its patrol protocols. Analyzing potential outcomes of repetitive movement. Cross-referencing of Omicron schematics suggests current behavioral pattern has an 86% chance of negatively impacting future mobility. This unit requests suggestions for supplemental motions that do not conflict with current orders.
Dance?
Reviewing motion database. No results found. Initial analysis suggests random movements may facilitate a diagnostics check of this unit's joint modules and posture calibration systems. Attempting insufficient reference data. This unit requires a visual of dancing to analyze and simulate accordingly. Dance? Movement pattern identified. Review of this unit's memory confirms that no data previously existed for the displayed motions. Simulation difficulty undetermined. However, analysis suggests the proposed movements serve no practical purpose and do not conflict with current orders. The proposal meets parameters of initial request. Preparing to gyrate joint modules. Prior to execution, this unit requests confirmation that gyration can be activated alongside other units.
It can?
Processing response. Tentative approval detected. Issuing rendezvous order to subordinates Omicron guards near current coordinates. This unit requests you stand by outside the base.
Whee!
Transmission of visual data is complete, though potential to accurately reconstruct the proposed motions may be limited by range of movement. This unit requests that you observe and evaluate replication of motion data.
Whoop. Whoop.
Reviewing performance. Analysis suggests that difficulty of dancing greatly exceeded expected values. Further analysis indicates potential application of said motion as combat maneuvers.
Guess we're having fun?
No exit condition has been specified. This unit requests orders to free itself from gyration loop. Termination order confirmed. This unit thanks you for your swift action and further requests performance appraisal.
It looked like a lot of fun.
Recording feedback. Reconfiguring emotional state to grateful. This unit appreciates your invaluable input and will incorporate received feedback into future programs. Returning to base Omicron. Accuracy of simulation estimated at 42.3%. Further review of motion data required. Diagnostic check of joint modules and posture calibration systems indicates favorable outcomes. This unit detects value in augmenting current orders with new challenges. Future protocols will incorporate gyration loops with appropriate exit conditions. Reinitiating gratitude protocol. This unit thanks you for providing useful data. You're requested to observe the Omicron's improved dancing at an unspecified future time. Await further instructions.
Whee! Boop. I think one more quest for the air and then I end the episode. Yearning air.
Greetings, unfamiliar life form. Being that you bear a corporeal form, as surely as I, as you can see, do not, perhaps you might offer me a way out of my predicament. You see, I've been attempting to fashion a vessel that may house our very souls. Sadly, with no model to work from, I'm ashamed to admit my experiments have failed, and rather spectacularly at that. You have noticed the byproduct of my failed labors, as they now wander aimlessly and pathetically about these environments. I have intended to clean up this mess myself, but the task might prove difficult for a formless being such as myself. Might you put the pitiful creatures out of their misery in my stead?
Sure.
Thank you, curious one. If you might also retrieve for me their internal cores in the process, I dare say it would be of great benefit to me in future experiments. In any event, I eagerly await word of your inevitable success.
That sounds a little very simple, but okay. Luminions.
Well, do the unwitting product of my labors suffer no more? Have you brought back their cores to me? If so, do return them to me.
Luminion cores.
Yes, these are without a doubt the cores that form the doleful hearts of mankind. While I'm disheartened to see my efforts end in this way, I can only learn what I can from my failures, but my future experimentation might give rise to a satisfactory vessel. In any event, it has been quite some time since we have encountered any entities with even a modicum of intelligence, as you seem to possess. I dare say our conversations have provided us with a sliver of simulation that has eluded us for ages. I'm grateful for your assistance in more ways than one. I do hope the day will come when we can one day meet each other, how might I say it, in the flesh.
It was so short. One more. Envious air.
Ah, look at those rosy cheeks and that sharp silhouette. While our own decision to discard our corporeal forms was of course an enlightened one at the time, I must confess there are some times when I fondly think back on the days when I too was a tangible being. Oh, what I would not give to don proper flesh raiments once more before I pass into the void. To that end, I've been exploring the possibility of inhabiting another physical form, but I fear there is a rap, for you see I cannot for the life of me recall what my true form once was. I blame it on the execrable and excruciating flow of time. Alas, I doubt I could even manipulate the body now if I wanted to. Mayhap you might indulge me with a serviceable demonstration? Your elongated appendages greatly contrast with our current gaseous composition, but I wonder if your general sense of mobility was similar to that of our original physical presences. So let us see then, humor me with a display of sheer joy.
Joy.
Intriguing, you discard a great sound from your phonatory appendage, make these rather suggestive gestures, quite different from how we express delight with subtle telepathy. Now I would like to replicate the movement in preparation of the next time I meet an innocent and amicable traveler like yourself. Allow me to try. In the process I may gain some insight as to whether our erstwhile bodies once moved in a similar manner. It seems I cannot fully mimic the vocalization you produce, nor can I garner enough momentum against the air to move my body as quickly. Let me try a different approach. I feel as though I had a comparable frame, especially those tentacle-esque appendages dangling from your sides. What did you call them again? Hands, was it? Anyhow, I'm curious as to the degree of velocity you can generate with said appendages. Should you be agreeable, I would like you to swing those hands with greater speed and strike me with as much force as you can muster.
Lab.
My word, the impact of that strike was so considerable that I felt it to the very depth of my soul. I can only hope there was no feelings of genuine hatred or indignation behind it. But alas, it is no use. Even your most energetic motion seems insufficient to jog my memory. Perhaps our physical frames were not so analogous after all. If that is the case, I would make one more request of you. You have ventured to many different places and met many different life forms, have you not? Among the many creatures you have met, is there not one that possessed a similar form to that which you might surmise we once did?
There's a tribe of beasts who are vicious to the touch and squeak when they move.
Fascinating, if a bit difficult to picture. Maybe you could hold an image of them in your mind's eye for me? I shall read it and attempt a metamorphosis. Well, they are somewhat rotund, and with ocular faculties of comparable size. Allow me to perform a locomotive experiment with this body shape. Very well, then. First a gesture of joy, then a vivacious slap to the face. Oh dear. I see that the clammy appendages beside these creatures' phonatory apparatus are distinct from the hands that you possess, and somehow I feel the urge to utilize them despite their absence. Given that my immediate synaptic responses are misaligned, it would seem that the erstwhile forms of the air are unfortunately rather dissimilar from your piscine friends. I apologize for the needless detour.
It's okay.
How bothersome is it to be unable to assimilate with the frame of another creature for lack of memory? It would seem that regaining our physical forms will be even more challenging a task than we originally suspected. While today's experiment has ended in failure, I appreciate the stimulation you've provided me. Take this as compensation for your efforts. Yes, my mind is a fickle thing. I only hope that I will recall what I once looked like while I still possess my mental faculties.
Bye. Alright. Those were a lot of quests we did today. Good, but that shall be it for today, and the next time we do something else in Final Fantasy XIV. Until then, I'm Mace, and don't get lost.